Hey everyone, it's Marnie here for another Sunday video. Welcome to an Energy Healer's Guide to Spiritual Awakening. I'm Marnie and I'm the energy healer and spiritual coach over at earthhearthealing.com. It's my online platform where I support awakening individuals, empaths, starseeds, old souls, those who have contracted to be lineage healers, and pretty much anyone going through the inner healing journey, and I specialize in relational trauma. So if you are someone looking for support, please don't hesitate to go on over to my website and check it out. I've got a discount going on until the end of April for one-time sessions, 3-time and 5-session packages, and a transformational program that is in the middle of being completed. So if my work resonates with you, please, you can support me by booking a session. So what I want to talk about today is some feedback that I got internally in my heart after my last video, where I've lately been talking about personal stories from my life, from my background, and I've always been that way. I love sharing. I love transparency. I think it's really helpful to share how we experience life, especially as those people who tend to polarize in the more codependent space, which has been me and is me. Although I was thinking lately, and maybe I put it in another video, that the healing journey between these two, like narcissistic and codependent personality traits, is to be able to kind of transfer the gifts one to the other and balance out as a unit. So I know I've had a couple of conversations with friends about dating and relationships and what I deserve, and whether trauma should be included in our relationships, especially if we're on the healing journey. You know, for me, I've thought about it in a way like, how else do we get triggered other than through relationships? So I've, been living this journey, as I always say, for more than 10 years. And I feel pretty good on my own when I'm on my own, when my energy is independent and just in my own, when I'm just in my own space. But that's not where my growth is at the moment, you know? I mean, business wise, my growth is with myself in that root chakra stuff. But otherwise, I was thinking like my heart centered kind of way of relating with my friends and my family. It's pretty solid. It's pretty good. Although I'm walking into new territory, sharing my personal stories online, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. Whether we should share our personal stories publicly or not, I've been on the crux of this opening for years, I would say. I never knew it was holding me back so much. For example, I wrote a book, I think it was in 2020. Either it came out or started writing it in 2020, or I was in the middle of the process. And I wrote in that book about my background, about my experience growing up in an addictions family. But by the time that the book was ready to be printed, pretty much all of that was completely deleted. And that was to protect my loved ones. And at the time, maybe there was a little more blaming and pointing fingers and projecting. But now that I'm here, I don't feel like that. I feel like these types of pains, relational pains, are a part of the collective healing journey. And I have devoted so much of my life healing this type of stuff that I think it's important, not per se to share the details, but to share the root of where my experience comes from. So, last week's video is the first time that people actually resonated and commented. It was really exciting for me to get feedback, and I hope that it continues on this way. I hope you guys continue to resonate with my words and the stories. So, I guess after I kind of cleared the air with whether or not speaking about my journey is the right thing to do, and I'm specifically bringing up because you guys, it seems to be the part that's resonating most with others. And I remember too when I first woke up, and I'm not saying that's where most of you are. I think probably there's a spectrum, and I tend to draw in people who are like intermediate to adept healers themselves, because healers need containers too, and reflections and feedback. We also need to be held by others. So I had a lot of fear today around this, and it was surprising to see that a moral dilemma popped up, because I don't know if it's the right thing to kind of open the doors to family patterns in this way. But at the same time, it almost feels like the only way to really be transparent and share my voice and um, have the kind of like the what's it like the goods, like to share the goods of why am I here, why am I doing this work. Like, we all do this work because we come from a sense of contraction or restriction or pains relate, like family dramas and traumas ourselves, and I feel very grateful for how much growth has come from accepting the vibrational the what is required to to heal vibrationally, to accept the path and to come out the other side. I think, the other side meaning I'm always going to be coming out the other side probably in my life, because I love transformation. So right now, at this moment, at this particular time, I am having a moral dilemma about sharing my truth openly. I want to for myself. I feel totally cool with it, but I'm not sure how my loved ones are going to respond. So I still have to have that talk. Right now, I'm going to post this video. Maybe I'll get some feedback from all of you about what you think, and I would love that. So comment below if you have any thoughts about personal stories on the healing journey when they're relating to more than just us as individuals, when they affect the lives of others, like sharing little bits of details. And for me, I think just labeling things in the Western medical system, the way that labeling dysfunction helps people to know where the root is, or to kind of have a constellation or an idea around something, right? When we give it a word, we have ideas attached to that. Then, on the other hand, vibrationally speaking, like, there's no right or wrong in the world. There's only less pain. I guess in a way, it's like more pain and less pain. And all of us healers out there, we want to bring in less pain and suffering into our lineage space. And that means opening some of the windows, maybe even a door or two, opening the world up to truths, you know. And I do it all for the healing, for the purpose of helping others, And that's where I want to like shift into some personal stories, because I thought maybe you guys would like it. I just came out of an ayahuasca ceremony the other Friday night, and I was really surprised to be called into a ceremony the day before. I hadn't worked with ayahuasca for a year and 3 months. And that's because have felt like I'm not fully processed the lesson that was given to me from the last time that I went into a ceremony. But we had the Yawanawa tribe come to our retreat center. They've been coming for 4 years now. It's a really nice honor to have them. I'm still attuning to their lineage, but I love working with grandmother spirit when she calls me. It's probably my favorite plant medicine, and it's part of the reason why I moved to Central America. so that I could work with this stuff a little more openly, explore it with more joy and curiosity. And yeah, so the story goes I was going through a breakup, processing all the pains of coming back to my solo life. But once I'm getting here to my solo life, I love it. It's just the transition, the bridge from one space to the other that's been difficult. And I was really struggling. Yeah, I was really struggling until a little cat showed up, a little orange cat. And I'm like, man, a cat. I thought she was in heat. She was so happy to be here. I was like, man, a cat that might have kittens. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can handle this right now. And so I freaked out, but of course I had to feed her because she seemed hungry. Did a little research, and one day passes and I find out that she is my neighbor's cat and that she's fixed and that she doesn't like humans. And as soon as I heard those things, tears. All the fear dropped away, and I was like, oh, this is a sign. This is an invitation. This is something important for me to listen to. So the cat, once I realized the cat was like a messenger, I started to remember, it gets a little metaphysical. I started to remember an initiation I had in Peru 2 Septembers ago now, where I went to meet the Keros tribe because I felt called to. I built a trip of a month just to meet this tribe. And the story goes that in my book, I write about Donna Maria Apaza because she came to visit Vancouver while I lived there. Wasn't able to see her at that time. Excuse me, everyone. Spontaneously went to visit my friend in Mount Shasta, and she was there again, and it was this very synchronistic invitation from a neighbor, and we went, and I bawled my eyes out, and something happened to my heart, and she made it into the book, and she became kind of like the answer key, the beginning and the end of my book, Sparks from the Heart. So after the book was published, I was like, I really want to meet this tribe. I want to know more about them. So I tracked them down. Turns out they live very close to Cusco. And I think I was in such a place too where my guidance is stronger than I'd like to realize that it is, because I think I booked that trip going, what is the safest city to visit in South America, Central America, and Cusco came out to be one of them. So I booked the trip, later on realized, hey, this is where the tribe that I wrote about is close to. I ended up not being able to have a meeting with Donna Maria Paza, but I did meet with her niece. The Alto Misayek is what they call their high healers, I guess you could say, and she's quite old now, and anyway, she had injured her hip and wasn't able to see me. So I did an initiation with her niece instead, and it was an initiation to align with the Pleiades and to meet, I believe it was like a sister planet to Mother Earth who also supports the awakening. And for me, every day of my life, I've been focusing on financial empowerment in the healing art. So I have been quite stubborn with my life to kind of open the doors to create Earth Heart Healing and to not give up on this platform. And it's been quite a journey to monetize it and to have people trust me enough online to want to book sessions. And it's every day I continue with my heart into this space. So having you guys respond with messages yesterday, it was like really exciting to see, or the last couple of days, to see people resonating with one of my videos. So if you happen to be watching this one, thanks for watching, thanks for being a part. Like and subscribe, that helps, and always put a comment below. I'd love to, specifically hear your points of view about sharing personal stories in the public sphere for healing, because my heart wants to, with grace and love and a full devotional love to my family, but at the same time I want to help people, and I feel like starting from my own experience is the best way to share. So again, let me know what you think on that. It's like a personal dilemma of the moment. It's gonna have to have a conversation with my family soon. And back to the cat. So while I was in Peru having this initiation focused on my business, 3 orange cats came to visit me. And when I realized that this new cat, Luna, was coming to visit me, it just had this full like circle reaction, noticing that the initiation was, I guess, coming to fruition, you could say. And I work at a small school, and it's a Waldorf inspired school, and I work directly with the head of the school as the secretary. So the cat comes, brings some light to my life. I realize that it was a callback from my Peruvian initiation coming into the moment again to be looked at, and I really kind of am feeling that alignment. So I hopefully the full story gets transferred to you guys, because my brain kind of goes like in all these different directions, but hopefully you're following. So I start to tell my boss about this, or the person I work directly with, my friend and colleague, I guess you could say. And I remember, okay, the initiation, okay, I did a San Pedro ceremony, looked up in the sky, the moon, the stars and the moon were in a rainbow color, and the moon was purple. She kind of goes, no way, and shows me her Instagram, the purple moon. And I was like, okay, purple moons in the same room. We work in this one little box in the jungle, okay? The school has like four buildings. They're all separate from each other. We're in one of them. It's a small box. And what are the chances, right? What are the chances that one of her Instagram accounts is a purple moon icon and of her creation? And I saw the purple moon when I went and worked at the Keros tribe. And since the cats were coming back, there was another symbolism with those cats, that I went to a couple cafes. 2 orange cats came and sat on my lap. Different cafes, different cats. And there was one cat who stayed at, oh, horses. Hi. I live on the mountainside, and 3 horses just walked by with people on them going for a tour. It's kind of special. So anyway, side note. So what am I talking about? Orange cats. The 3rd orange cat was the cat that was kind of the guardian of the hostel where I stayed. And it was only when I got home, months later, I wrote a blog and I realized that those cats were a representation or a trickle-down energy of the puma spirit, which is one of the Peruvian power animals in Cusco, where I was. The condor is for the heavens, the puma is for earth life, and the snake is for the underworld. And I'm really working on bringing my energy into the earth's sphere. So when the cat came here again, and I'm working on my business, and I'm going through a heartbreak, and I'm being alone again, and I'm learning my codependent tendencies, and I want to put myself forward in my business, I start talking about my real life examples, and I hit another wall. And then I'm in the Yawanawa ceremony. So in that ceremony, I go really deep with ayahuasca. Anyone out there have worked with ayahuasca? I really respect all the plant medicines, and I'm happy that I'm in a place where they're easily accessible. Although I don't work with them all the time. As I said, my last time working with Aya was a year and 3 months ago. So in the ceremony, there's so much, guys. There's so much. Okay, purple moon in a box. Tell my colleague about some of my setbacks, and I have this memory of remembering a vision of being an angel. I mean, this is with my healer. A couple times it's come through in like deep meditation. Being an angel chained to a rock, and being so frustrated that I'm stuck there, and so distraught, and so rageful. And my colleague says, well, what if you just lean into, instead of trying to escape the rock or the mountain, circling back to Peru, the Apus are the Andes Mountains there, and the Altomisaic of the Queros tribe is the special high priestess that can speak to the mountains. So mountain energy, rock, chained to a rock, looking for personal empowerment. It's like all these things twirling and swirling around, having to do with talking about my past and being open and honest about my perceptions and the ways that I've healed and grown within my family unit, which with particular, with any kind of narcissistic tendencies, that stuff is like family information is stuff we protect to the nines. So to like open the doors a little bit, I hope in the most eloquent way that I can. I don't know what the other side's going to be, so like this is where I'm asking you guys for a little bit of feedback. So now I'm in the ceremony, and what I realize, let's ping pong back for a minute. Talking to my colleague / boss, when she's telling me this stuff, she puts her hand right on my back, exactly where the pain is, exactly where, when I get triggered, when I go deep inside of myself, it's like the problem area. I don't know if you guys have that in yourselves, but for me, it's all around my heart. It's one of the first things that I focused on when I woke up and was in healing school. I'd always go, what is this? When I was a kid, I went to the doctor when I was like, I don't know, probably 7, 8, 9, 10, and be like, I can't feel this part of my body, and also my shoulder in the back. What is this? It feels numb. I was such a shy little kid. I never really got resolved, but it did cause me a lot of fear. I guess I could have been a little bit hypo. What's it when you're afraid of your own body, thinking you're sick all the time? I might have had a little bit of that going on. So yeah. So in the ceremony, the root of the shift was to realize my anger that maybe came from childhood conditioning about how to be a certain way, but that now I'm an adult and I can choose new ways of being, ways of acting. And I hope I keep going back to this, I'm a bit scared to walk into a space where people can actually connect with me in this way. I think my last video got 600 views, and to me that's a lot. With people talking back, it was really exciting. And I'm scared of sharing myself, although I want to, and it seems like the only way to go. It's also written in my astrological chart, so I got a lot of stuff working for me and a lot of resistance internally to step up to the platform. But I'm here, one step at a time, right guys? One step at a time. So in the ceremony, there was a lot of leaning into the pain, and instead of like tensing into it and like the anger's really in there, or I feel like it's a wall. What if I just lean back into it? So like every time I sit on a chair now, I'm like really wanting my back to lean in, and I can attach or step into the restrictions and constrictions that are there that have protected me, right? So in childhood, our conditioning is usually created as a protective mechanism to support us when the outside world isn't able to be as heart-centered or space-giving, the ability to hold space for each person's individuality, which is then what we do later on in life. So still recovering from the ceremony. It was so beautiful, very spontaneous that I got called. I don't know about you, but when I work with ayahuasca, I have a certain kind of avatar that comes in. She didn't come really much in the ceremony, but she was with me the day before for half a day when I was cleaning my house. I felt such like a rainbow, in the Rainbow Warrior tribe, so strongly. It was a joy, and to experience her, to have her come in, even without the medicine in the ceremony, to work in the ceremony, to melt some of those tensions in my back, really get into my body with the breath. And let's see how the rest of the week unfolds. So sending y'all lots of love. Still looking for some feedback on sharing personal stories, and I like to throw things out there and see what you think about it. So, sending you love from Earth Out Healing, and I will see you next week.
Life isn't in control, and we're dancing with the unknown. Take a deep breath, let go, and love.